Hello dear students, I am Dr. Anshika Srivastav. I have completed my MBBS from KGMU in the year 2025. Today we will be discussing molecular basis of skeletal muscle contractions. It is a very important topic for first year physiology exams. So let us begin with the topic. सबसे पहले we will be studying physiological anatomy of skeletal muscles. We all know skeletal muscles are composed of actin and myosin. These actin and myosin are together arranged to form myofibril. Each myofibril extends from one Z line to another Z line. These two blue lines which you can see are the Z lines. The line in the middle is the M line. Then we have two types of bands. The I band or the isotropic band, which is composed of unoverlapped part. This is the I band, and the band which exists from the overlapped parts of the two sides is called as the A band or the anisotropic band. There are two important fibers, the thick fiber or the myosin fiber, thin fiber or actin fibers, and titin, which extends from myosin till the Z line. It is the longest protein in the human body. Now, actin is not alone. Actin's active sites are covered by tropomyosin. Tropomyosin is coiled around actin, and these three dots which you can see, they are troponin. Multiple myofibrils are arranged in a sequence to form a muscle fiber. This is how a muscle fiber is composed. Each muscle fiber is surrounded by an endomysium. Multiple such muscle fibers with their endomysiums together form a muscle fascicle or a muscle bundle. Each muscle fascicle is surrounded by perimysium. Multiple such muscle fascicles, each surrounded by their own perimysium, comprise of the muscle belly. So this is a muscle belly, alright? Now next we move to some main theoretical points. Each muscle fiber extends the entirety of the muscle. So if we have drawn this muscle fiber, it extends from one end. We know that muscle is attached to the bone. Suppose this is the bone. Muscle belly is attached to the bone by tendon. Alright, this is the muscle belly. So it is muscle fibers extend from one end till the next end. Alright. Except for 2% of fibers, each fiber is innervated only by one nerve ending. You can see in this diagram, it is a diagram of a neuromuscular junction. Each muscle fiber is supplied just by one nerve ending. Alright. Just like any other cell, in muscle fibrils also, the sarcolemma consists of a true cell membrane and an outer polysaccharide material containing numerous thin collagen fibrils. Now, let us move to the structure of actin and myosin. Actin and myosin. Now, like I told, actin is surrounded by tropomyosin, which covers all its active sites. Suppose this is an active filament, then tropomyosin covers all its active sites. Suppose this site was an active site, this site was an active site, this site was an active site. So, all these sites are covered by actin, so that there is no unnecessary muscle contraction by interaction between myosin and actin. Also, the third molecule which exists is troponin. Troponin has, let me change the color. Alright, this is troponin. Now you could see I have drawn three dots at the place of troponin. Because troponin has three forms, troponin I, troponin T and troponin C. Troponin I binds troponin to actin, troponin T binds troponin to tropomyosin, and troponin C binds it to calcium. Once calcium binds to troponin, it undergoes a configurational change, thereby pulling tropomyosin. This pull on tropomyosin in turn exposes the active sites of actin. I hope you got the point, but we will discuss it again, so don't be worried. Myosin is composed of two chains, two types of chains. Two heavy chains and 4 light chains. The 2 heavy chains are interwound and double upon themselves in the globular head. Suppose this is the first chain, this is the second chain. They are interwound near the tail part, and in the head they are coiled upon themselves. So this is the tail part and this is the head part. This is the tail part, this is the globular head part. And 4 light chains, 2 in each globular head, drawn with this black marker, are present in myosin head. Myosin head has an intrinsic ATPase activity too. Alright, now let's discuss about general mechanism of skeletal muscle contraction. We all know the impulse travels through the neurons. The neuron is depolarized. The vesicles stored at the terminal of axon are released, and ACH is released into synaptic cleft. Here it is called as neuromuscular junction. It binds to ACH receptors. These are the ACH receptors. Once there is ACH receptor interaction, there is influx of sodium. This influx of sodium is not enough to depolarize the muscle, but it is enough to open voltage gated sodium channels. There is influx of large amounts of sodium. This causes depolarization, and impulse is propagated along the muscle fiber. This impulse, once reaches the sarcoplasmic reticulum, written as SR here, causes release of stored calcium. This is the calcium which binds to troponin C. Alright, so this is a general mechanism. Now let us discuss at the molecular level. So this is the structure of actin which I told you above, where all the active sites are currently masked by tropomyosin, which in place is held by troponin. As soon as calcium is bound to troponin, it causes pull on tropomyosin, and all these active sites are revealed. At the same time, ATP is bound to the myosin head. We studied earlier that the myosin head has an ATPase activity. This ATPase activity causes the head to hydrolyze into ADP and phosphate. When ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP and phosphate, the head changes its shape and becomes perpendicular. The head, which was previously like this, it has now become perpendicular. Active sites of actin are also exposed, and the head is become perpendicular. This causes the attachment between actin and myosin. This interaction generates what is called as power stroke or sliding filament. Once the head of myosin is bind to active site, the head undergoes configurational change, pulling actin along with it. So these were the muscle fibers, this was the actin, and now the head has undergone configurational change, pulling actin along with it. So this is what happens to the muscle fiber. You can understand, this was a Z line, this was the Z line. Again, these were the muscle fibers which contracted. Thus, the Z line has come closer, and this is what happens in muscle contraction. Alright, now again ATP is bound to head, which causes release of actin and myosin. Alright, you can understand now, ATP is needed for contraction as well as relaxation. Again, this ATP molecule is hydrolyzed and the cycle continues. As long as there is ATP supply and as long as there is calcium supply, this cycle will continue. Once these supplies are broken down, the muscle relaxes. तो बच्चों एक बार ब्रीफली हम रिवाइज कर लेंगे कि पूरा प्रोसेस क्या था. सबसे पहले न्यूरॉन से इम्पल्स आया, जो न्यूरॉन के टर्मिनल में पहुंचा, न्यूरॉन टर्मिनल या एक्सॉन टर्मिनल जो भी आपको बोलना है. एक्सॉन टर्मिनल में वेसाइकल में क्या स्टोर था आपके पास? एसिटाइल कोलिन. एसिटाइल कोलिन कहाँ रिलीज हुआ? न्यूरोमस्कुलर जंक्शन में। न्यूरोमस्कुलर जंक्शन में जो एसिटाइल कोलिन रिलीज हुआ है ये बाइंड कर जाएगा एसिटाइल कोलिन रिसेप्टर पे जो कि प्रेजेंट है मसल फाइबर पे। इससे क्या होगा, थोड़ा सा सोडियम का इन्फ्लक्स हो जाएगा, एक लोकल पोटेंशियल टाइप की चीज़ जनरेट हो जाएगी, जिससे कारण क्या होगा कि और सोडियम चैनल्स भी ओपन हो जाएंगी। ये और सोडियम चैनल्स ओपन हो जाएंगी तो इससे पूरे मसल फाइबर के अलॉन्ग एक्शन पोटेंशियल डेवलप हो जाएगा, यानी ये पोटेंशियल ट्रैवलिंग पोटेंशियल होगा। ये पोटेंशियल जाएगा और साइटोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम तक भी पहुंचेगा। वहाँ साइटोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम पे कैल्शियम का रिलीज हो जाएगा बच्चों। ये कैल्शियम कहाँ पे जाके एक्ट करेगा? ट्रोपोनिन सी पे। ट्रोपोनिन सी क्या करेगा? ट्रोपोमायोसिन के ऊपर पुल लगाएगा। ट्रोपोमायोसिन के ऊपर जब पुल हो जाएगा तो आपका एक्टिन की एक्टिव साइट्स एक्सपोज हो जाएंगी। साथ ही में जब मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हो रहा है तो एटीपी आके मायोसिन हेड पे बाइंड करेगा। जब एटीपी मायोसिन हेड पे बाइंड करेगा तो उसकी हाइड्रोलिसिस हो जाएगी ड्यू टू एटीपीएज एक्टिविटी। एडीपी और फॉस्फेट बनेंगे। एडीपी और फॉस्फेट की प्रेजेंस जब होगी मायोसिन हेड पे तो उसमें कॉन्फ़िगरेशनल चेंज होगा और हेड परपेंडिकुलर हो जाएगा। ये परपेंडिकुलर हेड और एक्टिव साइड का इंटरेक्शन होगा जिसके कारण होगा पावर स्ट्रोक या स्लाइडिंग फिलामेंट। पावर स्ट्रोक यानी हेड बेंड हो जाएगा। इस बेंडिंग ऑफ द हेड के कारण एक्टिन फाइबर बीच की ओर मूव कर जाएगा जिसके कारण मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होगा। इस नए पोजीशन में एक नया एटीपी आके हेड पे बाइंड कर जाएगा। एटीपी बाइंड्स अगेन। जब एटीपी बाइंड कर जाएगा हेड मायोसिन हेड पे तो इसको मायोसिन हेड को एक्टिन को रिलीज करना पड़ेगा। अब एटीपी वाला मायोसिन बाइंड नहीं कर पाएगा एक्टिन के साथ। इसके साथ ही ऐसा हो जाएगा कि अब वापस से एटीपीएज एक्टिविटी इनिशिएट हो जाएगी और ये साइकिल फिर से कंटिन्यू हो जाएगी। आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड द टॉपिक। बेटा मोटिवेशन हमेशा अपने पास रखो एंड से टू योरसेल्फ इफ नॉट नाउ देन व्हेन। आपका बहुत क्रूशियल टाइम है, अभी आप मेहनत करेंगे, यू विल हैव वेरी गुड रिजल्ट्स। थैंक यू एंड ऑल द बेस्ट।